You know that feeling, right? When a conversation is long over, but you're still stuck replaying it in your head. You get caught in this loop, just picking apart every single little detail. It's something pretty much all of us have been through, and today we're going to dig into why that happens and, more importantly, how to finally make it stop.
It almost always starts with a simple, little nagging question. You could be trying to fall asleep or just driving your car. And suddenly, your brain just hits you with, "Ugh, why did I say that?"
And then that mental spiral starts to tighten. Self-doubt just floods in, and suddenly you're not even thinking about what you said anymore, but how you think it was heard. Your mind just starts racing with all these worst-case scenarios. And there it is. That's the question that puts your brain on a treadmill it just can't seem to get off of. It's completely exhausting, it's stressful, and it feels totally pointless. But what if I told you this mental habit is actually connected to one of your biggest strengths?
See, this idea kind of flips the whole problem on its head. Overthinking isn't necessarily some flaw you have. A lot of the time, it's just a side effect of having a really powerful mind. But that power, when it's not balanced, can absolutely feel like a trap. So, let's really break down what's going on here.
So here's the most important thing to get. Overthinking isn't about thinking too much. Nope, it's about thinking in circles. It's like your thought process has no destination. You're just spinning your wheels mentally, burning a ton of fuel, but you're not actually going anywhere.
Just think about the difference for a second. Healthy, productive thinking, well, that's a tool. It helps you look at a situation, analyze it, and then land on a decision or a solution. Overthinking does the exact opposite. The more you think, the more confused and stuck and uncertain you feel.
So why on earth do we do this to ourselves? Well, at its core, overthinking is really an emotional thing. It's your brain desperately trying to find a guaranteed 100% safe answer in a world that just doesn't offer them. It's a search for certainty that can never, ever end. And that's exactly why it drains all your energy.
And this brings us to a really interesting paradox. Why is it that highly intelligent and self-aware people seem to get trapped in these loops so often? You'd think it would be the other way around, right? But there are actually some very clear reasons why the sharpest minds can get tangled up the easiest. It usually comes down to 4 key traits. First, a powerful mind sees tons of possibilities and outcomes for everything, which, can cause you to freeze up. Second, they have a really deep understanding of consequences, which creates a fear of making the wrong choice. Third, if you have high self-awareness, you're constantly analyzing your own behavior, which is a recipe for overthinking. And last, there's this desire for control, this belief that if you can just think about it enough, you can somehow prevent anything bad from happening. And that leads us to a really powerful and kind of hard truth. Overthinking gives you the illusion of control. But that's all it is, an illusion. You can't think your way into a different reality. The only thing that actually changes outcomes is getting out of your own head and doing something, taking action. Now make no mistake, this habit is not harmless. It has real, tangible costs that just silently suck the life out of your goals and your happiness. It's like a thief that operates so quietly, you might not even realize what you're losing until it's already gone. Just look at what it takes from you. Your confidence, it gets chipped away by constant self-doubt. Your mental energy, it's just completely drained. Your creativity gets smothered by anxiety. And opportunities, they just drift right by while you're stuck thinking about it. You're basically left standing still while the rest of the world keeps moving. But maybe the biggest danger of all is this. Over time, chronic overthinking can actually rewire your brain. You start to trust the scary what-if scenarios your mind creates more than you trust your own real-life experience. Fear becomes your default guide instead of wisdom. Okay, so we've looked at the what and the why. Now for the good part, how to actually fix it. And the great news is you absolutely can break this cycle. It's going to take some practice, but these are practical, effective tools you can start using literally today. So here they are, 5 simple but seriously powerful steps. We're going to walk through how to name the thought, use a little perspective trick, learn to embrace imperfection, use your body to break the mental loop, and most importantly, how to take immediate action. First things first, you need awareness. The second you catch yourself spinning in that loop, you just have to label it, say it in your head, or even out loud. This is overthinking. This is not problem solving. That simple act of naming it creates a little bit of space, and it separates you from the thought. It takes away its emotional power over you. All right, so after you've named it, try step 2, the 5-minute rule. Just ask yourself this one question.
Will this thing I'm worrying about matter in 5 days? What about 5 months or 5 years? It's amazing how this can shrink a giant worry down to its real size. And that flows right into step 3, embracing this idea that progress beats perfection every single time. The goal isn't to make the one perfect decision. It's to make a good enough decision that lets you move forward. The hunt for perfection is what keeps you stuck.
Now, another really powerful way to break a mental loop is to change your physical state. That's step 4, move your body. Seriously, go for a quick walk, do some stretching, do a few push-ups, anything to get out of your head. And this leads right into step 5, which is to take a small action immediately. We have this idea that we need perfect clarity before we can act, but it's actually the exact opposite. Clarity comes after you act. Taking one tiny step is the fastest way to kill that overthinking spiral and get real feedback from the world.
You see, when you get right down to it, these tools are about so much more than just stopping a bad habit. They're about making a fundamental shift in your mindset, about retraining that powerful mind of yours to be your biggest ally instead of your biggest enemy.
And the whole shift really just comes down to the questions you ask yourself. The old fear-based question is always, what if I fail? That question is a dead end. The new growth-based question is, what will I learn? That question opens up a world of possibilities, and it reframes every single outcome, even the quote-unquote bad ones, as just valuable data for your next move. I want you to let this become your new mantra. You do not need perfect answers to move forward. Peace of mind doesn't come from getting rid of all the uncertainty in life. It comes from getting comfortable with it. You have enough information, and you are more than capable enough to take the next step right now.
So if there's one thing you take away from this, I hope it's this. There is nothing wrong with you. Your mind is not broken. It is an incredibly powerful tool that maybe just hasn't been trained yet. When you train it with a little bit of awareness and you balance it out with action, it will start working for you instead of against you. So I'll just leave you with this thought. All that power is already there. It's inside your head. The only real question left is, how are you going to train it to work for you instead of against you? Starting today.